Hey, yeah, come on in. Give me 1 second. Let me finish this.
All right. Let me tell you what you're going to do tonight. I never lost the Lockhart Television Championship, and it's time to finish the job. So it shouldn't be me versus Eli. It shouldn't be Chandler versus Clay. Chandler Hopkins, Erik Lockhart title match tonight.
You know what? You're right.
I know.
It shouldn't be you versus Eli. It shouldn't be Clay versus Chandler. It should be you versus Chandler. Versus Eli versus Clay for the championship tonight.
No, with this multi-man stuff.
Multi-man? Oh, that's even better.
No.
Oh, wow. You know what? You're a freaking genius. You know what? I'm going to go let everybody know right now to get ready and to thank you. Ah, this is butter, baby. Woo!
Welcome to week 2 of Reality of Wrestling Sub-Zero as we're getting started with potentially what's going to be one of the craziest matches of the entire show here, ladies and gentlemen. We got fatal 4-way action for the television title, CT.
This is going to be fun to watch, I'll tell you that much.
Championship on the line. Also, main event, those tag titles are on the line. Hank and Tank from NXT taking on Fly Death.
Eli Knight trying to capture his first taste of singles gold after having a successful tag team run twice here at Reality of Wrestling. And tonight might be his best opportunity here, Brad.
Tonight could be his best opportunity. We have seen Eli Knight, if actual possible, fly like no other to another level. Eli Knight is that man, but you still favoring that rib cage that he injured in his match with Erik Lockhart, which, by the way, I still think might have been intentional.
You also have to imagine if he's going to be able to keep his emotions in check, because one of those men that you mentioned, Erik Lockhart, is in this matchup.
More on that to come. There was the video game GoldenEye. There was the song by Drake and J. Cole. And what they have in common is a first-person shooter. And right now, the shooter is all over the place at Reality of Wrestling.
He's going to have to go up and come with the golden gun, I'll tell you that much. We're talking about golden.
We've seen Erik Lockhart seen Erik Lockhart as of late have a different demeanor about him, but I never really thought he would sink to the level that he did last time we saw him out here with Malik City.
Yeah, what happened with Malik City, that concerto, just sickening shot that has now put Malik City out indefinitely. We don't know when the next time we're going to see him is, and still, like we talked about earlier, Carolina, still you see the injured ribs of Eli Knight. Eli Knight, we know he's athletic, he's agile, he's going to fly like no other, like we said before, but how much can you do that when you have injured ribs?
Yeah, Erik has been, he's been making me upset the way he's treating Malik and Eli. And if you look at Eli's eyes, he's angry. The ref had to hold him back early.
Oh, look at that right out of the gate!
Oh my gosh!
Right out of the gate, Eli eliminates Lockhart, even if just momentarily.
Well, this is one fall to a finish. Fatal four-way. One man will be the Reality of Wrestling television champion. Oh! We saw Andrew Jackson make this match official last week with Erik Lockhart.
Well, to get things started here, I told you guys, will Eli be able to keep his emotions in check? Right at the gate, I can tell you the answer is no, because he went right after Erik Lockhart. But I get it, you know, it was despicable what he did to his brother Malik.
Well, right now you have two of the best athletes in Reality of Wrestling when it comes to aerial acrobatics and more. I mean, that Superman press versus the 6 shooting star press.
And look at these two. Just going 60 miles an hour. This is just incredible
60?
speed. Maybe 100, maybe 100,
I was about to say, they're going past the speed limit. Texas City PD gonna give them a citation.
Row Nation on their feet already. You saw Erik Lockhart try to get back into this, but Eli may have just taken his eye off the prize. And again, Clay Roberts taking advantage of that.
But let's think about each 4 of these men and how they even got here, because Clay Roberts was just the Reality Wrestling.
Hopkins! Instead of going for Eli, saw his opportunity to go to the outside.
Now that looked like it came out of the Golden Gun.
Yeah, he flew like a bullet.
He flew like Odd
Wait a
Job.
second. Now Eli to the top!
Good Lord, have mercy.
For someone whose ribs are hurt, you would never guess. If he put a shirt on, you wouldn't be able to tell because he's still athletic and he's flying everywhere.
Wait a second, CT, look at this. Eli and Erik are the 2 men in the ring.
Now it's important to highlight, Erik Lockhart trained Eli Knight. This was his student. And now the hatred that these 2 men have for each other. Oh my gosh, look at that. A sucker shot to those ribs. Clay Roberts, best technician in Texas. Alabama native, Roll Tide. He and Erik Lockhart obviously have their differences, but right now, I think they both realize if they can take Eli Knight out of this match, one of them can be the champion.
One thing to point out about Clay is that he's usually with his TAP team, but he banned them from ringside earlier because he said he was punishing them. He feels like he can beat anybody in the ring right now.
Oh! Chandler Hopkins got swept up there in the apron. Took a nasty fall. But now look at this, Clay Roberts trying to direct traffic here. And I'm honestly surprised that Erik is going with this. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Isn't Clay the reason Erik is no longer the TV champion?
Oh, whoa! That is accurate.
That's accurate.
But there we go. Erik did not forget that. As now these 2 are going after each other.
Well, right now, Erik Lockhart
cover here to regain the TV title, but no.
And an interesting stat to point out. Since Erik Lockhart's return to Reality of Wrestling, he has not been pinned at all. Now, he's lost matches, sure, but he has not been pinned.
Well, yeah, it's hard to get pinned when you're throwing people into staircases and injuring them.
No, it's hard to get pinned when you're that smooth.
It's actually incredible. I'm just doing the math in my head really quick. That's almost like 2 years since he came back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you smooth if you have to do things like that, though, or is your peanut butter a little bit crunchy?
I'm not sure what that means there, Brad. But right now you see Clay and Erik just going after each other. And now Eli is getting involved as you see the tables removed off his ribs. But he is fired up as Eli Knight.
Well, right now he's moving off adrenaline. He's moving off pure adrenaline.
Drop kick
down.
And flatliner combination from the champion.
All men are down. crazy.
I have never seen anything like that. As now Chandler Hopkins is going into the cover here on Erik Lockhart, but his shoulder goes up from the smooth one.
So what I was trying to say, Kirby, is that if you're smooth with the moves, you shouldn't have to injure people.
Okay, now
so
I'm
following. There's a crunchy.
And speaking of flatliners, there's one from Erik Lockhart. I'm following now, CT. I got you.
Still doesn't make sense.
As now Clay Roberts gets sent to the outside from Eli here. As once again, the two men in the ring are the ones with the most personal beef between all four of these men. But at the end of the day, it's about the TV championship.
Look at that. Beautiful from Erik Lockhart.
As this is only our first matchup here into the cover, the shoulders are down. Clay Roberts steps right on the back of Erik Lockhart. To think that this is only our opening matchup, ladies and gentlemen. As we're going to see tag team gold on the line later on, but right now, the TV title was so close to changing hands.
You saw how close that was? You saw how close that was. Erik Lockhart and Clay Roberts, their battle.
Missed with the kick.
Clay is confident. He knows he's already beaten these guys before, and that's why he thinks he
Hey, I'm sorry. Fatal four-way.
There are no disqualifications as Clay Roberts trying to win the gold exactly how he did so a few months ago, but this time, Eli was there to break it up. That was a triple threat when he won the gold. This is a fatal four-way. He didn't account for the extra person, CT.
That's true, he didn't, but if Eli's not in the ring, he might have an advantage.
That'll take some powder out of your pistol.
I know that's right.
Big shot there from Eli. As you can see him holding those ribs, and Clay very smart to go right after that.
I mean, Clay Roberts look, his name says it, he's a technician. He smells the blood in the water. He is like no other reality wrestling performer. No wasted
rolling
movement.
Up here, the shoulders are down. So close. I was gonna say to become TV champion for the first time. You know, it would mean the world for Eli Knight to be able to go back and visit Malik and tell him, look what I won. But Clay Roberts trying to stop that.
Right now, look at that. And look at that.
Oh my God, right into the camel clutch.
With precision. The precision tactician in Clay Roberts.
That was incredibly smooth from Clay Roberts, and it's amazing that Erik Lockhart's the one in this matchup, and yet he hasn't pulled off the smoothest maneuver in this matchup.
Look how smart that is. Clay Roberts trying to grab a sleeper hold to slow down Eli Knight.
His wrestling IQ is
golly,
out of this world. Eli holding his ribs.
And you gotta think, just with every breath, the pain radiates throughout his body.
Yeah, one of the toughest hits to take is a hit in the ribs.
Wait a minute.
Eli
can finish this thing. Eli can finish this thing.
He's got the championship in sight.
He just locked eyes.
Wait a second.
Oh my God! Off the top rope.
Eli changed trajectories and he went to the outside after Erik instead.
He could have got the win.
Clay Roberts counting his lucky stars.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh my God, where did Chandler come from?
Cover, 1,
6-shooter
2,
press.
3, and
retain the gold.
Clay Roberts thought he dodged a bullet, but he ended up catching one in the chest.
Absolutely incredible display there from the champion. As again, we're gonna try and get a replay of this courtesy of Replay Games. Clay Roberts thought he was scot-free as Eli Knight changed trajectories over to Erik Lockhart on the outside, and ultimately that cost him the matchup as Chandler Hopkins takes advantage and gets his own 6-shooter press on Clay Roberts.
Eli Knight's emotions got the better of him. He could have walked out Sub-Zero a champion, but he chose to take out Erik Lockhart instead. The hatred beyond these two men, between these two men, is beyond imagination.
And that was only our opening contest, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 2 more for you tonight.
Please welcome my special guest at this time, the Reality Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Fly Def. Gentlemen, tonight you have tough competition against WWE NXT Hank and Tank.
Hank and Tank, huh? Tough competition, huh? Hank and Tank, y'all in our house. We done knocked out every single team we've had. Now we're getting competition from the next level. NXT, huh? Yeah. Y'all might have seen a lot of tag teams in y'all division, but we run this division right here. And you about to feel something you never, ever felt before.
You see, cause tonight we're sending Hank and Tank back down to NXT, broken and battered. And these right here, these ain't going nowhere, Hank and Tank. You're going back to NXT empty-handed because these Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Championships are staying right here where they belong, over the 5-time champion's shoulders. And that ain't just what we do. That just simply is what we supposed to do.
Things going here at Reality of Wrestling Sub-Zero. We are in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going to see the first confrontation between Gino and Ayden in nearly 4 years, CT.
This is going to be a match made in heaven or made in the deep, dark depths of Hades.
It's a good thing that Gino is embracing his entire culture, his entire history, his entire lineage. Because El Día de los Muertos may have just passed, but it's El Día del Sanguinario. Any day Gino can harness that energy. And I can tell you right now, Aiden Cristiano is in a lot of trouble if Gino can hit that gear. El Jefe is in the house as we see all of La Familia right behind him. And that's the one question that we're going to have here for this matchup, CT. Will Gino be able to focus on just Aiden Cristiano when the entire familia is out here?
When todo la familia or all the family is here, anything can happen. So who knows, Kirby, what to expect?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, 4 years ago, we saw Aiden Cristiano and Gino Medina face off. It wasn't just for the Reality of Wrestling Championship, it was also for the ownership of Gino's father's mask, El Sanguinario, and that is now the energy that he harnesses here at the Reality of Wrestling. So it's somewhat of a long time coming here for this matchup.
Oh yeah, it's been quite some time. We've been waiting for this matchup, and Gino has been harnessing the energy from his ancestors, so he might not need a whole family behind him.
This matchup holds a lot of personal value for Gino Medina. Because you've got to imagine that he has to stay calm. He has to stay collected. Because otherwise, if he gets taken out of that element and he starts maybe focusing on things he shouldn't be focusing on, Aiden Cristiano can take full advantage of that.
Now, can you be focused, or do you have to have your eyes peeled and you're watching your back at all times? Because he's surrounded by La Familia.
And that's going to be the one thing that we're going to have to also keep our eyes on. As you can see, these two already exchanging words in the center of the ring. But now it's just a fight, Brad.
You know, I've just been taking all of this in because of the history between these two men. At this very month, they've had so many battles and brawls. And I remember starting here at Reality Wrestling 12 years ago when Gino Medina was still just getting into wrestling, trying to figure it out. Obviously, we've talked a lot about the history of his family, the legendary El Sanguinario, which is his father, and now embracing that spirit. But I remember when Gino was being trained by that very man, Ayden Cristiano, who took him under his wing to say, look, this is how you do this. This is how you get to the top. This is how you become a champion. And now to find them back in this position.
Now Gino, oh, look at this. Think of a baseball slide. Oh, with that chop. But you've got to imagine that maybe it's a little frustrating for Ayden Cristiano, having shown Gino how to get things done, and yet Gino captured the Reality Wrestling Championship before Ayden did.
Well, you know, look, that doesn't mean that Ayden didn't have the knowledge and ability, he just didn't have the opportunity. Gino got the opportunity earlier, but when you talk about Ayden Cristiano, if I'm really putting together, as I've talked about over the last couple weeks, like the Mount Rushmore of Reality of Wrestling, Ayden Cristiano is the George Washington. He is one of the most important wrestlers to ever walk through the doors here at Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena and in the Reality of Wrestling. When you talk about what he's accomplished in the ring as well as out of the ring.
Cover here from Ayden Cristiano. The shoulders are down. Kick out from Gino. And we talked about La Familia getting involved in this matchup. We already saw that for the first time there as Vega grabbed a hold of the leg from Gino, CT.
I mean, I kind of feel like you're a little bit mismatched when you're surrounded by La Familia and Gino's
Another cover here. 1, 2.
Gino's only familia is his ancestors that aren't here right now.
They're not here physically, but they are definitely here spiritually, CT. That's what El Dia de los Muertos is all about. It's about paying homage to your entire lineage, and somehow Gino has just found a way to truly just hit that next gear that he's needed for years by just taking that mask and speaking with it.
That's right, and when you spend a year in the mountains of Mexico and you channel your energy from your ancestors, it might bring something to you that allows you to have the advantage today.
Cover here from Gino, 1, 2, but Ayden gets his shoulder up.
Ayden Cristiano is always going to keep fighting. And what we also know is Ayden Cristiano's family is always going to keep growing. I mean, over the years, we have seen La Familia continue to be loyal to him. And you do not show that kind of loyalty to just anyone. You show that kind of loyalty to a figure that you can believe in, that lifts you up, that inspires you. And that's what Ayden Cristiano has been to the members of La Familia and what he was to one point at Gino Medina. Gino Medina.
Well, when somebody's the George Washington, if you will, at Reality of Wrestling, he is somebody that they can look up to. But at the expense of Gino, might be a problem for Gino.
When you talk about loyalty for La Familia, Vega is the only one that's been there literally since the beginning. Primo Juanito has been maybe here for about a year or so. Jay Alexander has been here maybe 2-3 months or so. You've got to imagine what Vega really has for Ayden Cristiano, if nothing but respect. As right now, these two men inside the ring are just trading blows, and this is what we talked about. This is personal. This is a fight. And now Gino saying that it's over. Look at this, the double underhooks are in, but now La Familia getting involved in causing a disqualification.
Doesn't matter if it's a couple months, year, or forever. The loyalty is bleeding through in La Familia, and their blood runs thick.
And now this is just academic from La Familia over and over again. It is just a mugging.
He just handed him a belt. He just handed Ayden Cristiano a belt.
Oh, but look at that, Gino, able to fight back, not against 1, not against 2, but all of La Familia. Gino, very familiar with Jay Alexander, and look at that, slides right out of the ring and gets out of harm's way.
La Familia, up to your old ways, huh? Well, the bounty's on his back, and I'm here to settle the score.
Brian Keith is coming back to the row to team with Gino Medina and to settle the score.
Imagine being born in a country where the industry you dream of thriving in barely exists. Even after 10 years, it's still in its infancy. Do you know what that feels like? To look across the ocean and see others handed opportunities you've had to fight tooth and nail for. To chase my dream, I had to build an industry from the ground up. It's grown bigger than it's ever been, and I've achieved everything there is to achieve in this region. But deep inside, there's still an emptiness. Because in the United States, that's where pro wrestling truly thrives. This is the year I break through every barrier. To prove why I deserve to stand among the best in the world. And it all begins this year with whoever has the courage to step into the ring with me in reality of wrestling. Know that I'm still undefeated, and I fully intend to stay that way. I fight for more than just myself. I fight for my family, for my nation. I am a symbol of hope for everyone who dares to believe that where you come from doesn't define how far you can go. That greatness knows no borders. Their belief fuels me, and I will not let them down. The Darah Pahlawan, the blood of warriors courses through my veins. Raw Nation, this isn't just a return, it's the start of a new era. Not a challenge, but a reckoning. Because Lockhart is coming.
The following contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall, and it is for the Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Championships. Introducing first from Houston, Texas, at a combined weight of 425 pounds. They are the current Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the team of Fly Brother Warren James, Zach Zilla, and they are
It is time for this main event to happen, and I've already got chills as the 5-time tag team champions are going to face off against NXT's Hank and Tank.
When I think about the 5-time tag team champions, I think about Booker T and his 5-time champion, and the San Antonio Spurs, not the Rockets.
Hank and Tank are in the building, and you can already listen to the Raw Nation. They're ready to tear this building down with energy, Brad.
Look, I love Hank and Tank. When we saw them in that 6-man tag team match along with Will All Day a few weeks ago on this very program, I fell in love with these guys, okay? And you know what? Hank and Tank got a victory in that match, and like the Rockets in 94 and 95, they're trying to go back to back.
And if they happen to go back-to-back, then that means they're going to achieve what seems almost impossible and be WWE contracted people that walk away with gold.
Yeah, from another organization. That is a really real possibility. Hank and Tank have proven themselves on NXT. You've seen them on NXT television on Level Up. This is their second time here at Reality of Wrestling. These are not guys, though, who toured the independent circuit and wrestled for 15, 20 years before they got their shot in WWE. They are guys who were created within that system and have learned the tag team wrestling within NXT. On the other hand, Fly Brother Warren J, Zach Zilla, they have traveled around the entire country, training under one of the great tag team specialists of all time, Booker T, and applying that knowledge all over this country, winning not just reality wrestling tag team titles, but tag team titles in many different promotions. Hank and Tank never won a tag team championship.
They've never won because they've never had an opportunity, Brad. They have never challenged for tag team gold. The NXT tag team gold is still eluding them because they haven't been able to challenge for it. Tonight, though, they have their first shot and they are looking to walk out champion, CT. Do you think it's possible?
Well, I mean, when you're speaking about opportunity, you're talking about this moment right here. And the bodacious Belly Boys are fired up. They're fired up. They've ate a lot of Santa's cookies is what they told me over the holiday season. And they're ready to brawl, and they're boiled over with anger. So, Fly Def is just in their way.
Well, you know, Thanksgiving, they told me it was actually their bulking season holiday, Brad.
Well, you know what? I mean, they do look like they're getting ready for hibernation. But look, let's not let looks deceive us. These two guys, they are all energy, they are all impact, they are all action, and they are ready to get the job done here. Look at that, slapping on the belly.
Well, they definitely know a thing or two about brotherhood. They were linemen before they joined the WWE. And when you're a lineman on a football team, you learn to bond because you guys are the front five. So you've got to imagine that these two just bonded right out of the gate.
Yeah, look. Sometimes, and you know this, sometimes you find a brother by blood, but sometimes you find them later in life. And right now, Hank and Tank are almost thinking like people who've grown up together their entire lives. They're on the same trajectory, but you have to say the same exact thing for Fly Brother Warren J and Zach Zilla. 5-time reality wrestling champions. Nobody has ever won any championship in reality wrestling 5 times. They are the most decorated tag team and 2 of the most decorated superstars in the history of the reality of wrestling.
We could talk about football all day long, but that means...
Oh! 3-point stance. He's down. No flag on the play.
Tank Ledger into the cover here, but only a kick out from Zach.
When you're playing football, you're on the same line. You have to tag each other in right now, and that's where Fly Def thrives in. They're great in the sport of wrestling, and so this is not something that Hank and Tank could just easily win.
Look, the reason why Warren and Zach have been so impressive as a tag team is what you just said, CT, is that they think singularly, but they act collectively. And they are one unit out there. They've done it for years. You know, it's like muscle memory for them. It's so in the back of their mind, they don't have to think about it. They're just acting. They are doing.
If you really think about it, these two teams call themselves brothers, but they do so in different ways because Warren and Zach, they came together after... Oh, cover here, but quick kick out. Booker T put them together over 6 years ago, and they just thrived after they found that chemistry together. Hank Walker and Tank Ledger, they did so on the football field, and now they carry that same energy here. But only one team can walk away tag team champions. As we see Hank... Oh, my God! Just going right into the corner, and we see the tag there. As the speed and power are in full display. Hank Walker gets planted down. And now Zach Mason gets cut off as well. Fly Def in a bad spot here, CT.
Dare I say that, hey, honk.
Here we go. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, and you saw that there. They didn't crash into each other because they felt that Fly Def was moving out of the way. That's that brotherhood. That's that bonded by blood mentality that these two have.
Supreme. Oh! I mean, as far as debuts in reality of wrestling, can you think of one that was more electric than Hank and Tank?
Oh, it was amazing. And dare I say that Hank and Tank look a lot bigger and stronger. They're already big, they're already strong, but I think this bulking season that they're in right now makes them a lot more powerful inside the ring. So whatever they lack in wrestling IQ underneath Fly Def, they make up for in size.
Fly Brother Warren J in a bad spot here, only man inside the ring. As now Zach Mason taking advantage of the rope as Hank Walker got hung up on the top. And now this right here is where Fly Def is going to start taking advantage. They have a target and they're going to go right after that leg. Left knee in a bad spot here, CT, as Hank Walker is getting pushed back into the corner of Fly Def, and we see a tag.
And they're continuously hitting him in that area, so that could be a hinder to them.
Hank Walker again, look at that leg being targeted by Fly Def, the drop toe hold, and a tag there to Fly Brother Warren J, and now an elbow drop to the back. Cover here for FlyDev to retain the gold. No. Oh! Big shot there to Tank. But now, look at this. The referee not seeing this from FlyDev. Great plan from FlyDev. As soon as the referee is distracted, they just go right on the attack. You know, FlyDev cover here from Fly Brother Warren J, but a kick out. You've got to imagine.
Tank needs to be careful though.
That FlyDev, that frustration has built over the last year that finally caused him to snap and then win the tag team gold for the 5th time. To end the year in this kind of match, in this kind of capacity, it's got to feel somewhat vindicating for them, don't you think, Brad?
This is exactly what they wanted. I mean, look, say what you want about Warren and Zach, but they want the biggest and the baddest because that's what they think they are. They're afraid of no comer, you know?
That's a great point, Brad. If you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. And Hank and Tank are some of the best people that you can see inside of the ring. And FlyDev, they're here as champions because they earned it, and they're always getting overlooked.
Hank Walker is getting pieced apart right now as now Fly Brother Warren J goes into the cover, but a 2 count for FlyDev. Tank Ledger on the corner. He is trying to get the Road Nation behind him as they are chanting NXT. And look at him just pacing in the corners. Fly Brother Warren J in the center, holding down Hank Walker.
This is smart. You know, slowing him down, grab a hold, take your time, take a breath. You don't have to rush through this. You just got to win the match, you know? It's not an Iron Man match. You're not racing against the clock.
Hank looks visibly in pain right now.
Hank, look at this, able to get back up to a vertical base. Reaching, just fingertips away from getting the tag. But Warren J trying his best to hold him back. Right hand from Hank Walker.
Can he get the tag? He can't. Can he get there? Can he get there? Nope.
Missed
Not
with the
enough.
clothesline. Oh, but right again.
And a chalk
Right
block.
after that left knee.
A
Tag.
big chalk block right here. And now this is where it becomes academic for Fly Brother Warren J and Zach Zilla. They have, oh, wait a minute.
Oh, Warren.
That's what he
look
needed.
at this. There it is. We got the tag. Tank Ledger is in. He's the legal man for Hank and Tank. Here we go.
All bets are off as he starts to fire up. Zach Zilla. Oh my goodness.
Amazing display of power. Tank is on a roll.
Tank, he is like an unstoppable force. He's all 3 of Newton's laws right now, and he's just dumping Warren J.
This is what you guys meant by infectious energy. As Tank goes for the splash, Zach Mason goes down. Cover to become the new tag team champions. Oh, but a kick out from Zach Mason.
Walker Texas Lawyer Arena is cheering for Hank and Tank. And having home field advantage is a good thing.
Normally, home field advantage is a good thing, and that's why it's working in the advantage, typically, of Fly Brother Warren J and Zach Zilla. This is just the 2nd time Hank and Tank have ever been at Reality of Wrestling. This is still new territory for them, and Warren J is about to finish it all right here.
The flight death.
There it is.
Breaker.
Cover.
That's gonna do it. Goodbye, Hank and Tank.
Tank just kicked out.
That maneuver has won FlyDev championships for the last 6 years. But Tank Ledger somehow managed to kick out.
But
Now,
where is Hank? Hank has not been able to come back to the corner, and right now it's all on Tank's back. He's carrying it on his shoulders. Can he be the guy to dig deep and take his team to victory?
Zach Mason with that big boot. Tank Ledger not where he wants to be.
Oh, wait a second,
look at that. Speaking of Hank, there he was, Brad. You saw the teamwork right there. He knew where his brother was gonna be. And now, Hank Walker getting fired up. This is our main event here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as we see the tag to Hank Walker. Here it goes, flying with a clothesline.
Here
Zach
it
Mason
Just
gets
jumping
planted
him
down
on.
as well. And now Hank and Tank in each corner. Honk, honk, here we go. Oh, double splash in the center.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait 1 minute. Wait a minute.
Going
oh, no.
Cover. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, no! Somehow Zach Mason was able to throw the other person on top.
What a last-minute save by Zach Zilla.
I mean, you could not have gotten closer than that right there. I mean, that was a percentage point away. And now a huge lariat from Zach Zilla, and I'm feeling momentum shift. Hank doesn't see Warren.
Oh, roll
Hank
through
doesn't
here.
see Warren.
He got the tights, but no! Almost got him, did Warren J. These two teams are showing why the tag team division in Reality of Wrestling is one you should keep an eye on. Warren J from the top. Oh,
wait a minute.
He misses. Oh, going for a run. Black hole slam. Center of the ring.
Wait a minute.
Tag. Warren J in a lot of trouble here, Brad.
Hank and Tank working together. Oh! Cover.
And now cover. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God! Hank and Tank have done it!
Here are your winners, Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Hank and Tank!
We have just witnessed history at Sub-Zero for WWE NXT Zone.
For the first time in over 20 years, a NXT or WWE superstar have won gold outside of the company. This is historic.
The Belly Boys just ate Fly Death for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's time.
I mean, what do you say here? What do you say here other than two things? Honk, honk. Hank and Tank are the Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Champions.
It's bulking season, ladies and gentlemen, and these men have just won more weight in gold. What a main event here at Reality of Wrestling.
We cannot underscore the significance of this. Hank and Tank, WWE NXT Tag Team, or Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Champions.